Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniX TCG, and right now we are going to go into the Black Baby Vegeta breakdown. And yeah, these have been kind of spaced out a little bit, but I kind of bit off a little bit more I can chew with the workload I put on, plus moving and whatnot. So we're getting here to it, and then we're gonna have one more video today that I think you guys are really gonna like going into Nationals. So with that being said, if you like the content, like the video, and if you love it, maybe you think about subscribing. If you want a deeper competitive focus, go over to the Patreon and find out the sauce right before Nats. And then if you want to go the extra mile for me, you can always go in the description and click on the Universe X channel link where you can check out my Dragon Ball in general channel. And yeah, we're this close to 1,000 subscribers, so any help towards that goal would mean a lot. And with that being said, let's hop into the content. So to start it off, we got to talk about Baby Vegeta. He is the black leader for Ultra Limit, and he is going to be a normal draw one attacking and then flip at 4 life leader. When you go over to his Awaken side, you get the Super Baby 2, and he has a permanent that you can use rest mode battle cards with Brainwash or Machine Mutants in your special traits in your combos. So that's pretty cool, right? And then he's going to draw 1 when he attacks. So basically you're going to get some extra mileage because even after you attack with a Machine Mutant or a Brainwash card, you can then combo with it on the offense or defense, although offense is going to be the safer one because people can always remove your cards before you can combo with them if you try to save them for the defense. But the point is, it's actually pretty cool. So we're gonna kind of go into this, and I've separated the archetype into a couple of things because what we've got here is a very forward aggressive deck that actually has a lot of good recycling that can help you keep your hand advantage up in a deck that otherwise looks like it's burning through it. So we're going to talk about the Brainwash cards first because they are the glue of this deck, and then we're going to start talking about the cards that play additional cards. We're going to talk about some additional lines of play you can use in this deck, and then we're going to go in with even some cards that kind of just really slot into this deck even if they weren't made for it. So the first card we got to talk about is this is going to be Bola GT, and Bola GT is on play, you're going to add 1 life to your hand, so it's a self-awakener. We've already talked about most of these in the previous Black Reveals video, so I won't just go in the full effect, but this is your self-awakener as well as your energy marker gainer. So it's cool to have that in-house. It's very, very cool to be able to be like, yes, this is going to be how I set this up. And yeah, so going first or second, this card allows you to have access to your energy marker. Followed by that, we've got honestly one of the most important cards of the deck, if not the most important card of the deck. Very, very powerful. This is Trunks GT, and I'm trying not to cough, but yeah, I am kind of getting over some sickness. So this card is great because when you combo with it from the field, you're going to be able to get 2 non-Trunks GT cards that cost a 4 less than Brainwash or Machine Mutants from your special traits from your drop to your hand. So this is how you recycle all of your key pieces. It being a 2-drop also prevents it from being played too easily or recycled by Hercule GT. But yeah, essentially this card is going to be how you keep your steam going because you are really, really getting so many cards back to your hand with this. Every time you play this card and combo with it from your field, you are going to be getting 2 cards back from your drop. So yeah, this is one of the most important cards. Your games will kind of hinge if you see it or if you don't see it. Then we've got Goten. And Goten is nice because it adds some stun, some pseudo removal, bouncing a 4 or less. And this card is what pretty much seals Black's matchup versus Jiren because they won't be able to really keep too many things on the board in the early and the mid game due to 10 times Kamehameha, Pan, and then now Sun Goten GT. And yeah, so this is a pretty strong card as well. Then you've got the Gohan. This card is probably the least popular out of the Brainwash bunch because he is letting you use a 2 cost extra for free essentially, and they're just not really that good in this deck. You've kind of got like a Sensu Bean that we'll talk about later, and you've got another card that's like, yeah, no, not really the best. But then you've got this baby possessed boy form, and it's a 1-drop 5k combo power, 10k combo, or 10k combo power, 5k power, and this guy is really just going to allow you to extend. If you have the extra energy to play him, playing him and then using his effect will add 1 more play to your turn that wouldn't normally be there with that 1 energy. And so I think it's actually pretty cool. I think sometimes he does feel like he can stifle your plays. You never lead a turn with him. You never do it in the middle of your turn. This is kind of like if you do choose to play it when you have just 1 energy left over. This is how you really, really extend those plays. Then we have got Super Baby 1. Now this card is an all-rounder because when you play it, you're going to be able to play a Brainwashed or Machine Mutant for free. And then on top of doing that, you're going to be able to combo And when the card is used in a combo from your battlefield, this card's on the battle, draw one card. So you're really getting your bang for your buck. When you combo with the Trunks off your field while this is on the field, you're going to draw a card from this and recycle 2 cards with Trunks. Momentum! And that is why this card is one of the better cards in the deck, why it kind of fuels, because this deck is, you're playing a lot of cards from hand, and you're not letting them stay on the field, you're comboing with them to get other effects. So you're going to put a lot of intense pressure on your own hand control, and cards like this, as well as cards like Trunks, are going to really do a lot for your game plan. Then you got the other SR, the Grade 8 Baby. It's great because, well, yeah, pun not intended, you are going to be able to cheat in a 2 cost, which is generally going to be a brainwash, but it also could be a Trunks GT, which we'll get into later, which is just very, very good to keep your field healthy. And it is just simply a really strong 30k is a good stat line outside of 25k leaders. Makes your opponent have to invest more than just a singular card to get out of it unless it's a super combo. And frankly, being able to combo your opponent's card is going to get rid of a lot of key players. It gets around KO protection, and it allows you to just force somebody's card into the combo area. And a lot of 3 costs that are very good do have 0 combo power, or 5. So you really are just pushing it into a place where it can't be utilized correctly, and that's great. That is very great. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the Rildo line, because some people are kind of not sure whether or not they want to play it or not, but I do think the Rildo line is worth talking about, because it adds a lot of attacks on a ladder type fashion that you normally wouldn't be used to. So here you've got General Rildo, who's a self-awakener, and when he's comboed from the battle area, you play a Hyper Metal Rildo with a cost of 3 from your hand. That leads into the next card here, which is Hyper Metal Rildo, which is just going to say if you have Super Sigma in your drop, which is definitely a engine / package, a lot of people, more like a package, a lot of people aren't playing, but you get to bounce something. Most of the times he just hits the field, he attacks for 25k, and then he's comboed in turn to play out this Meta Rildo from your hand. And once we get to Meta Rildo, we have the 30k blocker. He is a 4 cost and a 30k, so he's removable by most colors in general. There's a lot you can do to get around this guy, but the cool thing is if he is KO'd through blocking or through effect, you can switch a field in the battle area to rest mode, your battle area, and you can bring him back from the drop inactive, allowing him to block again. So yeah, I think this is cool, and I think that the Rildo line adds these really cool ladder cascade swings that can take cards out of your opponent's hand and put pressure on them. Now we're gonna go through this really quickly because these are not really great cards. These really aren't. But you do have the Super Sigma package, which we will get back to right after we talk about our sponsors. Yeah, I kind of snuck that in there, but one sec. Alright y'all, taking a quick moment to shout out the sponsors for this video. First up is Mystic TCG, a store based in Missouri that sells all sorts of TCG product, even more than what you see featured here on this page. They also buy singles, collections, and prize cards, so make sure you actually catch them out in their store in Missouri at an event, or even on their Facebook, just to be able to see the events here, but also ask them what they're up to and what they're looking for in terms of vending. You can also use the code UNIXTCG to get discounts off your pre-orders as well as orders, so make sure you get your TCG product while it's hot. And we're always up to all sorts of things in Universe X, so you can go down the description and check the link tree to find out about my other channels, my Twitch, or any other avenues that I'm creating content on. And I'll always appreciate the help from you guys. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. So when it comes to the Super Sigma package, you have this ribbit, and I'm not gonna lie, these kind of go out of the way. They are machine mutants, but they have a lot of weird stipulations. They all are going to be able to summon Super Sigma from your hand when you have a combo, or when you combo with them from the battle area, but Super Sigma himself is going to require you to have 3 or more machine mutants in the grave, or it's gonna instantly pop himself. This guy is gonna do a little filter, and that's cool. Meanwhile, Bizu is just a 1 cost that can combo from the field to play Super Sigma. Meanwhile, Nezi is a 1 cost that can also combo from the field to play a Super Sigma. And then you have Super Sigma himself, which is big boy, 25k power, 10k combo power. But on play, if you don't have 3 cards Machine Mutant and their special traits in their drop, you KO him immediately. So overall, just not that reliable in the early game. And I just don't, I think it's just superfluous. Now, if I'm wrong here, if you guys don't feel that way, let me know and we'll get back to it. But then we have New Planet Tuffle, and this is just the field card, mainly to have synergy with Rildo. It does give you a little bit of filter, putting super mutants in the grave, or super machine mutants into the grave, so that you can then filter to your better pieces, set up for things like Super Sigma or Trunks plays. But for the most part, he's also there just for Rildo, so that Rildo has a card that you can actually tap and then go in. Now, when it comes to search, you have two different types of search. One of them is for machine mutants, and this is Dr. Mew. He's going to be able to search non-Mew machine mutants with cost 4 or less, so there's a fair amount of cards he can search here. But then you also have the next card, which is Super Baby 2, the promo, and he's going to be a 3 cost, 20k power, but he's also going to look at the top 4 cards for a brainwashed or machine mutant card, and put it in your hand, and you put the rest in the bottom. So I think that's actually pretty nice. Two different searchers. This guy is cool because not only will he search swing for 20k, but when you do combo with him, while he won't get an effect, he's also 10k. So that's cool. Just good enough to be useful, not good enough for your opponent to go out of the way to destroy them unless they really, really have the extra destruction. And so sometimes he will survive on the board until you want to combo him off while using rest. Then you have got the you have the Revenge Death Ball. This is the Senzu Bean effect. It can be played for free if you've used the Gohan Brainwashed. Overall, unless we have a meta change or like the Nats meta seems like something where the star deck is like something attacking again and again and again and again, I don't see this card being useful. But it is cool to have a Senzu Bean effect in Baby, so that if anything, if we do get that low to the ground, like if Ginyu just becomes tier 1 for some reason, we do have a card like this to help stem that, and it makes Baby inherently the best black deck if Ginyu is the deck waxing people out of their minds. Next, we've got Super Galley Gun, and Super Galley Gun is an activate battle that, just going to give plus 25k. And then if you have a battle card in your combo area, you can choose another battle card and pop it to the hand with 3 or less off your opponent's field. So actually it's any side of the field, so you can kind of have some recycle play with that. But again, it's one of those cards where I'm neither here nor there on. I don't think it really fits in every build. If you do have a Gohan in your deck and that's the kind of stuff you want to get down with, then go for it. But I do think this is not really needed. Now next we have 3 cards that really they're not the Baby Archetype, but they synergize really well. That's going to be Trunks GT. Trunks GT is great. He's going to protect your board so that you can leave some of your things on board to combo with them at a later date or later turn. And Trunks is cool because being a 2 cost, you can play your Grade 8 Baby and then play Trunks, which I think is going to be a staple play for Black in general. Make your board, tap 4 for Baby, play out Trunks. Your opponent no longer can assess your board without assessing Trunks first. And that's going to be the flavor of Black this format, in my opinion. But very, very, very good card. Self-Awakener, no downsides for this guy. Now we get to Bardock, and we already knew that Bardock was one of the linchpins of the black color in this game. But in this deck, Bardock will be able to combo with things on the board and use their effects on top of drawing, on top of untapping. And so like, just like how Super Baby 1 was able to combo with like a Trunks and draw 1 and then get 2 cards, this card will be able to combo with the Trunks as well. You will be able to play Trunks, attack with Trunks. Or if he's on the field, still attack with Trunks, play Bardock, swing with Bardock, combo the Trunks, draw a card, untap, get 2 cards from your drop, and then keep pushing. So Bardock has some very, very good synergy. And speaking of Bardocks that have good synergy, you also have the Bardock Double Striker. Because with this effect being able to combo 2 cards, you can swing with your entire board, play Bardock, and then attack with him, and then start comboing off rest mode brainwash cards because of Baby's leader ability, and still get those effects with Bardock. And that is the beauty of it. So both Bardocks are very synergistic to a strategy like this. So all in all, when it comes to Baby, I think Baby shows a lot of promise. I think Baby might have been the best deck to come out of set 4. And I think that Baby is good for a lot of reasons. The combo power that you can use in Baby is good. Baby has an aggressive playstyle that can really be one of the fastest aggro decks that we have in the format, and that's going to be great when you have late game decks like green and blue kind of roaming around. I do think that the only thing that I don't like about Baby is that being a combo deck, you can always be missing pieces. If you don't see a Trunks throughout the game, then you will run out of steam pretty quick because you're not bringing back 2 cards to your hand per Trunks effect activation. And so there's a couple different ways that you can stumble in this deck just from not drawing the correct pieces to continue your combo based onslaught. So I do think that yes, right now with just 1 set of brainwash cards, sometimes you can just be at the unfortunate end of RNG, and that just doesn't allow you to go any harder than you'd be able to go because you're not recycling, you're not drawing, you're not doing these things. But that being said, when you don't draw badly, Baby is very, very, very fast, and I think has the fastest, like, I still think that Baby is the most aggressive black deck that is the deck that's going to stop certain decks from stabilizing. I think that Bardock is the most consistent, but definitely a mid-range deck. If you want to go aggro Bardock, you're probably better off playing Baby. And then I think that GT is definitely a mid-range deck, but it has the highest ceiling of the 3 black decks because of how its mechanics work and the new support we got. So yeah, I definitely think Baby is going to be a force to be reckoned with at Nationals. I think that Baby is the new auto-op for green decks, and if your deck is mid-range to late game, Baby has a lot of room to operate before you get to your best cards. So I think it's a deck to be watched out for. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We're going to be coming out with the rest of the set 4 prep, Nats prep, and we're going to have a good time. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys end up liking the content and staying for more, checking out some of my other channels, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.